What if I told you that the guy who did this
on third down they have not been very good on?
Love.
Picked off!
just became the highest paid quarterback in NFL history after only playing one season with only 8 good games. Jordan Love is now being paid the same as guys like Joe Burrow, who have played 52 games, Trevor Lawrence, who has played 50 games, and even more than Patrick Mahomes, who has won multiple Super Bowls.
Other guys like Jordan Love, like, yo, he should get paid, but did he get an MVP? Am I missing? Did he get a first team All-Pro?
But how did we get to this point? You see, the narrative around the Green Bay Packers prior to the 2020 draft is that they were too dependent on the Aaron Rodgers-Davante Adams connection, and many thought they would select a wide receiver in the first round. Rodgers even noted after the draft that Justin Jefferson was still on the board when the Packers were selecting.
I was watching the draft and thinking about which receiver might be there at that time. We sent out the kid from LSU who I loved watching. I went, I think, to Minnesota in the early 20s.
The Packers could have had Davante Adams and Justin Jefferson on the same team with Rodgers at quarterback. Wow. Aaron Rodgers learned that the Packers were drafting Jordan Love about 5 seconds before the pick.
Did you know they were taking him prior to the pick?
No, I found out
just like we did?
about 5 seconds before the layaway.
And it led to Mr. A-Rod having a little too much to drink.
Once I got that text, I went to the pantry. I poured myself, about 4 fingers.
Jordan Love never played and just studied behind Aaron Rodgers, just like Rodgers had done in his youth when he sat behind Brett Favre. The only time we saw Love start was against the Kansas City Chiefs in 2021 when Aaron Rodgers was ruled out due to testing positive for COVID. Love had lost the game and was not impressive. The 13-7 score made fans believe that if Rodgers played, the Packers would have won. Rodgers went on to have 2 back-to-back MVP seasons in 2020 and 2021. The Packers would have looked like absolute fools if they moved on from Rodgers after 2 historic seasons, so they signed him to a contract extension in 2022 with an annual pay of $50 million, the highest in the NFL at the time. However, 2022 would be a disappointing season, which featured outbursts by Aaron Rodgers directed at head coach Matt LaFleur. Rodgers, now without Davante Adams, struggled to connect with rookie wide receivers Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson. At times, Rodgers slammed the young receivers in the media.
Guys who are making too many mistakes shouldn't be playing. We gotta start cutting some reps.
Around the same time in 2022, Jordan Love finally showed the world that he could be a franchise QB. During a primetime matchup against the eventual NFC champions, the Eagles, Love filled in for an injured Aaron Rodgers and almost tied the game. This was a small sample size, but it gave fans and head coach Matt LaFleur a little bit of hope. The following season, the Packers would send Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets via trade. Jordan Love would finally get the opportunity to be the starter for the 2023 season. The first half of the season was rough for Jordan Love, to say the least. The Packers started the season 1-1, and Jordan Love would have his first game of the season at Lambeau Field against the New Orleans Saints. And in this game, he got so lucky. The Saints were winning the game 17-0 until Derek Carr was injured and out for the rest of the game at the top of the third quarter. The Packers could not get anything going on offense, and neither could the Saints without Derek Carr. Backup quarterback Jameis Winston failed to score once, and the Packers still did not score at all in the third quarter. All of the Packers' 18 points came in the fourth quarter, and the Saints kicker missed a game-winning field goal. Jordan Love did get the victory, but fans were concerned about the performance. Another game that was concerning was against the Las Vegas Raiders, where the Packers lost, and Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions and 0 touchdowns during that game. At this point, fans could not help but question whether or not he's the guy.
Why are you throwing that ball? Dude, are you effing kidding me?
You really know you're struggling when you get your ass whooped by Josh McDaniels. The Green Bay Packers found themselves in a losing streak as they dropped another L, this time against the Denver Broncos with Sean Payton and a quarterback that he doesn't even want or like, Russell Wilson. Jordan Love choked again and threw a game-ending interception against the Broncos.
Going deep and looking, it's intercepted!
After this L, fans and pundits started to be alarmed about the offensive production. The Packers were scoring 20 or fewer points in 4 straight games for the first time since 2005. The offensive struggles were unprecedented and historic at this time. In late November, with a 4-6 record, there was a game that turned the season around for the Green Bay Packers. The team would travel to Detroit against the NFC North leading Detroit Lions and pick up a victory. But a lot of the Lions' wounds were self-inflicted, as head coach Dan Campbell went for it 5 times on 4th down and only converted once. So Jordan Love's 3-touchdown performance had an asterisk near it, as he benefited from the Lions' mistakes. But the following game is where Jordan Love would make his case as a franchise quarterback. The Packers faced Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and this was Love's first time playing the Chiefs since filling in for Rodgers in 2021. They had a resounding victory against the former Super Bowl champions, and Jordan Love was praised for his ability to escape blitzes, throwing 3 touchdowns in this game. However, the Packers' win streak came to an end as they lost 2 straight against the Giants and Buccaneers. Jordan Love was still playing at a high level, but the Packers' defense struggled tremendously. This led to their defensive coordinator of 3 years, Joe Barry, being fired in late January of 2024. Jordan Love did finish the last 3 games of the 2023 regular season strong, throwing 7 touchdowns with 0 picks, but against teams with a losing record: the Panthers, Bears, and the Vikings. The Packers' 9-8 record tied NFC teams like the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks, but Green Bay was able to narrowly make the playoffs due to the luck of having a better conference record. In retrospect, a loss in the wild card round of the playoffs against the Dallas Cowboys would have made the season look mediocre, but instead the Packers would humiliate Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, causing their fans and pundits to completely break down.
Today, the Dallas Cowboys got exposed as gutless, heartless, leaderless playoff frauds.
But was Love's 3-touchdown performance mainly responsible for this win, or Dak Prescott's costly 2 interceptions? Was it just luck? Regardless, Jordan Love was able to lead the Packers to their first playoff win since the 2020 NFC divisional round, when Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams defeated the LA Rams. After defeating the Cowboys, Love and the Packers would narrowly fall to the San Francisco 49ers as Love threw 2 costly interceptions. Despite the disappointing loss, the fact that Love could claim he won a playoff game with a young supporting cast that struggled with Aaron Rodgers allowed him to make his case to get paid big time. In the 2024 offseason, we saw quarterbacks get record-breaking contracts, from Jared Goff and the Lions to Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, and eventually Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins. Each of these QBs received deals that put them above $50 million annually, higher than some of the top QBs in the NFL like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Jordan Love began a hold-in where he did not participate in training camp until he received a contract extension. This prompted criticism from former players and analysts like James Jones and LaShawn McCoy.
1 year and you're talking about the highest paid, and it's gonna really mess up the way you gotta pay people in the future for this roster.
Jordan Love's small sample size made his resume look better. Fewer bad games, but also fewer great games. The Packers quarterback only threw for over 300 yards twice in the 2023 season. Players like Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, to their credit, have actually played a substantial amount of time. We have to mention that the Packers general manager had to pay Jordan Love, because if he did not extend him, then the Packers front office would look incompetent. Imagine trading up in the first round of 2020 for Jordan Love, pissing off your MVP Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, and then missing out on talent like Justin Jefferson just to not extend Jordan Love after his first full season in 2023. They would have looked like absolute fools. So in the 2024 offseason, Jordan Love and his agent had the Packers front office by the balls. So in late July, the Packers would sign Jordan Love to a 4-year contract extension worth $220 million, which made him tied for the highest paid quarterback in NFL history despite only starting 1 season. He's tied for the highest amount annually, and his contract in total puts him at the top near Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. Aaron Rodgers, now with the New York Jets, congratulated Jordan Love and gave him some real estate advice.
Hey, Love, don't spend it all in one place, but if you do, I still have a house in Green Bay that's up for sale.
Hey, Rod, I won't be buying your house, man, but I'll go check on it, make sure it's well taken care of. But, yeah, I mean, if you want to hook me up with a deal, like you said.
The quarterback market is going absolutely insane, and mediocre pay is being awarded with fat record-breaking contracts. Jordan Love making $55 million a year is $20 million more annually than players like Derek Carr making $35 million a year, who nearly beat Love early in the season. The Packers will find out soon in the 2024 season if this was a horrible mistake. It is likely that quarterback contracts will top the amount that Jordan Love is making in the future. But let's hope that those quarterbacks will at least have to play more than 18 games to get paid. My name is Wi-Fi Willie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.